Okay, hello. I've had quite a few requests to start with Cambridge 13. I haven't finished Cambridge 11 yet, but a lot of people have asked me to start with Cambridge 13. This was just released a couple of months ago, so I thought I'd get started with it and do 11 and 13 at the same time. So let's take a look. This is a case study of Tourism New Zealand website. One thing that I noticed that's interesting is they had something in Cambridge 12 about agriculture, synthesis of an online debate. So, and now they're doing something about a website in Cambridge 13. It might be that they're doing more and more articles about the internet and things that they find on the internet, which means you should probably learn a bit of internet vocabulary. You probably know a lot of internet vocabulary, but it will be useful for IELTS, definitely for reading and for listening. So, for example, I've just highlighted the internet vocabulary in this passage. So you probably know a lot of these words, but they're worth going through and making sure that you know all of this sort of internet vocabulary. Be careful though, if you search for internet vocabulary on the internet, you can get these massive lists that get very, very technical, and those are intended for computer science people. So don't learn massive lists. It's just the things that users need. Website database, not bed. Web presence, site for website. Features, interactive. Bookmark, click, links, register, save, print, blog, online, search. A lot of it is the things that you can do on the internet. These verbs, search, print, save, register, click, bookmark. A lot of verbs. Alright, so just an idea, learn some internet vocabulary. Let's get started. Let's see what we've got. As usual, it's very common for passage 1. We've got gap fill and true false not given. So we need to scan. What will you scan for? Take a look at this. I would find all of these first. These are headings, and they will show you where all of these answers are. So your first step is to scan for all of those. Maybe pause the video. I'm not going to go through them. I'll just leave you to scan for it. Alright, so that's what I found. A couple of notes on that. Probably would have been a good idea to start with these. Find these first. They were easy. They had capital letters, inverted commas. I didn't find local topics. It's not really there as far as I can see, but they did have features. Okay, next step is look at some grammar. Is there anything that can help us? Allowed businesses to what? So what kind of word is this going to be? Remember, this is an infinitive. So this is going to be a verb, but it's going to be the basic form of the verb, the V1 form, like to make or whatever. This is a noun, but we don't know if it's plural, single, countable, uncountable, can be anything. This will be a noun as well. It's a singular noun, please notice that helps us. So we're looking for only a singular noun there. This will be plural or uncountable, it won't be single. This can be anything. Again, plural or uncountable won't be single, and that can be anything. That or there in front means it can be anything. Alright, so not really a lot of help from the grammar, but a little bit. So, what are we looking for? This database allowed businesses to something information regularly. That paragraph actually has this word a lot, so we won't scan for that. I would scan for these two things, information and regularly. They will paraphrase, but the paraphrase is not too bad. So, scan for information and regularly. And there is regularly. So where's information? Can you see where's information? There's the information. So, we're looking for to something. We're looking for an infinitive. And I'm sure you can see it somewhere in there. To what? To update. It's only possible to have the V1 form of the verb. So that wasn't too bad. Countrywide. Evaluation, they can paraphrase. Impact. Nothing very strong, but let's see if we can find countrywide and impact. Impact on the. Now remember, features is in the next paragraph. Features was over here. So we're going to be somewhere there. So can you see anything about countrywide or impact? There's something about a country and national standards, and can you see impact? There's impact. Impact on what? On the, and I think that's quite straightforward as well, on the environment. Alright, so special features, for example, sometimes the for example is there, sometimes it's not. I think this is the main clue. A former sport something. And just read it and see what it is. An interview with. So you can only interview a person. You can't interview a tree or a dog or a table or anything. So we're looking for something that describes a person. There's our word interview. There's with. But that's who they interviewed. That whole phrase. Former New Zealand All Blacks rugby captain. Rugby is a type of sport, so that's our synonym for sport. We're only allowed one word. Which word do you keep? You keep that one. This whole noun phrase here is just, these are all like adjectives, behaving like adjectives. So you can throw them away, keep only that one. Yeah, former was there. And interactive, tour, various locations used in. Interactive, journey, various locations, used in, chosen for. Fine. Blockbuster films. So you only keep the noun, throw away the adjective. I'm going quite quickly through these because I've gone through Cambridge 12 and 11. So if this is your first time, you're starting with 13. Sorry if I'm going quickly, but I've covered all of these strategies a lot in Cambridge 12 and 11, so I don't want to repeat myself too much. Right, the driving routes, they varied. This is a very nice IELTS word. They changed, they were different depending on the what. Where's driving routes? And we want something about varied. And there's varied, the different routes depending on, according to, the. Really straightforward. If you find the scanning words, then it should be quite straightforward. They gave us a lot of help with these little helping words on either side. Travel planner included a map, details, and local. So there's three things in a little list here. A map, details of public transport, and local something. Let's see. So there's the travel planner. Gave us details of public transport. There's the map. There's the public transport and local. Find local. So that's local. This is quite an important word. You should notice these also because they give us lists. So there's map 1, public transport 2, and also I think the key to this was to find that. That's the synonym for local. So what was local? The accommodation was local. And last one, send a link to their. Could be single, plural, could be anything. Let's just find your words. The travelers could send a link to their what? So it's somewhere here. That's the only sentence. Submit a blog of their travels for possible inclusion on the website. So many students will see there and then they will choose that. And I can see why you did that, but if you think about the meaning, how can you send a link to your travels? You can't send a link to your travels. What else can you send a link to? There's only one other word here. The travelers could send a link to their what? Submit a blog. So I think that word that's the one that helped you there. It's quite difficult vocabulary, I think, for some of you, but that's the only possibility that it could be, because you can't send a link to your travels. You send a link to your blog. All right, not too bad. I think, well, what was important here, really, it was the scanning language. There were a couple of tricks. That was a trick. That was a possible trick because that word was over there, but that's the wrong sentence. If you're there, you need to be over here because you scan for your words. So not too bad, really. I think you can get all of those if you're careful. Right, let's move on. Okay, so let's take a look at these. I want to just do the circle words first. You can do the circle words first or the scanning first. It's step 1 and 2 or 2 and 1, up to you. But let's just do the circle words first. If you don't know what I mean by circle words, then go and take a look at my true, false, not given video that will explain it. The idea is that we identify the target language that IELTS will base the question on, and then we identify the scanning language, so we don't have to compare too much. We just find what question IELTS is asking. So pause the video and see what words you would circle. And those are the words that I would circle. Here they go for the adjective. Often in true, false, not given, they target the adjective. This one, I thought most, they really love to compare the most and many, as you will have seen if you've done 11 and 12. This one was difficult. Students will think that they changed this, but I've never seen them change these numbers. Anyway, I did a quick scan and I saw the number over there, so they're not going to change the number. I think they're going to change this. It's not common, it's a noun. This one, there was nothing really. It was basically, do they like or do they not like? It's in on the verb. And this one, comparing smaller hotels, larger hotels, these adjectives again, and this, the adverb. Is it likely or unlikely? Right, now, the big trick here was students go and scan for that. And then they go all the way up there and find it there. And that is unfortunately the wrong thing to do. If you did that, you would have wasted a lot of time. They did it on purpose. Remember that the gap fill ended here. So it's probably going to start here with the true, false, not given. I say probably because, of course, they can go back and start somewhere up here with the true, false, not given. But usually they will just continue on to the next section. But please don't, I didn't say always, usually. Especially reading 1, it'll be a bit easier. So actually here is the website, or maybe even here is the website, is where they're starting with this. Find that, that's quite easy to find. Geographical location, maybe we can find. It will be between that and all of this. Quick scan shows us that geographical location is there. Local culture, it'll be somewhere after here. There, cultural activities, I won't highlight it, but it's somewhere there. Small hotels, large hotels. I'm scanning and scanning and I don't see hotels anywhere. Maybe it's just me, but I can't see it. If that's the case, that means that that one will be not given. And then finally, return to New Zealand. You see, I'm not going to scan for visitors. It's everywhere. New Zealand's everywhere. This is about come back and return. Quite a difficult scanning word. They can paraphrase that a lot. I should have probably circled that as well. They like to play with many and most. So put a circle around that as well. There's many visitors, most visitors. Okay, I don't see anything about return. Alright, so those last two might be a bit difficult, so let's start. The website aimed to provide ready-made itineraries and packages. Were they ready-made? That means they were made before. And this says these individuals and organizations can create their own packages to suit their own needs. So it's not ready-made. It's not made by them for you. You make it yourself. So it's not ready-made. It's customized is the word. You make it yourself. So that's clearly false. Most visitors starting by geographical location. We're over here. Visitors can search for activities not only by geographical but also by where started. I'm looking for started. And I'm scanning. There's nothing there about how did they start. So I don't know if it's most visitors, because actually this is what they focused on. But the thing is, this is a not given. So they focused on nothing because it's not there. There's nothing about them starting. 26% related to accommodation. and we're over here. Now this says transport and accommodation. The question says accommodation only. So it must be false, because this must be something. It is part of that 26. This is not 0, and therefore accommodation is not all 26. So that must be false. Now I've got 2 falses. I probably won't have any more falses. They like to become involved in local culture. I guess it's just that. Visitors enjoy cultural activities. Nothing really there about local, but of course it's local. That could be close to local. So local is sort of implied in there, but it was just this. Do they like it? Do they enjoy it? Yes, they do. So often when you can't see a scanning word, a circle word, often it's in on the verb. So that's true. They like it, yes. Small hotels, larger ones, I'm convinced. We were somewhere, maybe here. I don't see hotels. So we don't know anything about the hotels. So it's not given. It's unlikely they will return after their visit. I think most students will get this one wrong. It's quite difficult. You could put a circle on many. You could put a circle on unlikely. The answer is that it is seen as a once-in-a-lifetime visit. So the visitors feel that they're only going to come there once, which means that it is unlikely that they will return. Pretty difficult. I was looking for something about likely, unlikely, but it's not there. Once in a lifetime. So that will be true then, especially because we've got 2 not givens, 2 falses, so you need another true to make 2 trues. All right, not too bad. I think maybe 4 out of 6 there, 6 out of 7 there, so 10 out of 13 is quite possible for this reading. Great, let's move on to reading 2.